Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see if this is working. Hopefully we can get back on and with no interruptions and no echoes. We're going to see if we're making it do what it do now. We're going to see if we're making it do what it do now. We're going to see if we're making it do what it do now. Is it good? Let's see here. So we still have an echo showing up. We shouldn't. We shouldn't have an echo now. So there's no echo coming behind me, is it? All right. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, April the 28th, 2022. And we've been here for a few minutes trying to make sure that the audio is clear and you can hear me when I'm articulating the information that I want to articulate today. So if you are coming on after 26 minutes of being tardy for the party, I want you to hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know. Prophet Ramon, the squad, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta on this 28th day of April 2022. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and make sure that you put in the comments what city you are watching your boy from. I want to give a good shout out, a good afternoon to all of you that are part of our business and maybe our ministry community. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. I am your host, Ramon Preston. And every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, with the exception of days that we're late, we show up here every Monday through Friday to share information with you that we know is designed to help you start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. And as I always like to say, everything that I share with you on this show is a direct reflection of my life personally, but it's also an extension and a representation of what we do here professionally at Ramon Preston Enterprises. We have a business and financial consulting division. We have a business and financial coaching division. We have a business and financial training division, and we have programs that encompass everything that we do. We have online training programs. We have accelerated coaching and consulting programs. We have programs that are tailored to work with you in a lot of the nuts and bolts of your structure, your systems and processes. And we have a lot of different programs and courses and products everywhere in between. So thank you for joining the show today. And I want to take a few minutes today to really talk to you about getting it right as an entrepreneur. Getting it right as an entrepreneur. I got to be honest with you. When I talk to entrepreneurs, when I talk to people who already have businesses that are up and running, when I talk to ministers, people who are doing nonprofit work, when I talk to people who may be W-2s or 1099s and they're transitioning into being business owners or executives, most of the time within the conversation that I'm having with them, whether it's a personal conversation, whether it's a consultation or a coaching session, I almost always hear entrepreneurs say the same thing just in different ways. And that overwhelming common denominator of a conversation is that they want to get it right. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're a leader, if you're an influencer, maybe you're the breadwinner for your family, perhaps you are a W-2 employee and you're looking to move into entrepreneurship. My question to you is this: do you want to make sure you get it right the first time? And even if you didn't get it right because you've already started your LLC, you've already started your corporation, don't you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing moving forward is actually right? I'm asking you that question. So if you're one of the ones that I'm talking to today, I want you to put in the comments, get it right, because that's what I want to talk to you about today. How do you get it right as an entrepreneur? There are certain things that you got to get right if you really want to see success as an entrepreneur. Because one of the things that I hate as a business consultant, as a coach, as a leader, as a trainer, as a speaker, as an influencer, one of the things that I hate is to see entrepreneurs like you, good people like you who really want to succeed. You really want to go to the next level in your personal life, in your professional life, in your financial life, but you just can't quite get it right. So I want you to put in the comments, if that's you, I want you to put in the comments, get it right, because that's what we want to talk to you about on how to do. How do you get it right as an entrepreneur? Now, again, maybe you've already started your LLC. Maybe you're already in business. Maybe you already know a little bit about sales. You might know a little bit about marketing. You might know a little bit about nonprofit work. You might know a little bit about everything. But how do you create a comprehensive infrastructure for what all the things that you want to do to make sure that not only do you get it right, but you continue to consistently do it right? That's the game, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So if you're watching me and you're live, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop the questions in the comments. I'm telling you, just this past Saturday, we hosted a one-day event right here in Buckhead at the Marriott Buckhead Conference Center. And at least a handful of people that I talked to Saturday said in no uncertain terms to me that I just want to make sure I get it right. Or I did it the first time wrong, and now I'm coming back around to doing business again, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right. So it's all about getting it right. So what are the things that you got to get right? There are just some things that you got to get right. And guess what? If you get these things right, you're going to see success. It's inevitable. So please be sure, if you have any questions, drop your questions in the comments. I love to answer your questions. If you have any comments, things that you just want to share with us, please be sure to put those comments in the comment section. You can always reach out to us at any point if you feel like what we're sharing with you is valuable and you just want to be a part of our business community. You want a deeper relationship. We have online training programs. We have coaching and consulting programs. You can call us, or you can just go to our website and you can find all the information about our organization there. You could go to RamonPreston.com. That's RamonPreston.com. Or you can reach out to me at 404-478-7213. So don't hesitate to reach out to us, because I know a lot of you that are watching me today, you listen to me, you may have found me on a Google search or maybe a YouTube search, or maybe you're just scrolling through timelines and I came up on your timeline. I've had this conversation just with a few people the last couple of days. I know it's very difficult to find people that you feel like you can trust, people that you feel like are credible enough for you to do business with, for you to invest your money and your resources and even your time with. But if you can just do some due diligence, like doing some research on who we are and what we do and who I am and what I do and what I've done to get to where I am, and just see the work that we're doing and the impact that we're making in people's lives, I think it'll help you to have a little more peace about moving forward. Because what I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to be doing things and the things that you're doing are not right. meaning that the things that you're doing in your financial life, the things you're doing in your business, the things you're doing in your ministry, the things that you're doing with your products and services, the things that you're doing with your systems and processes, or maybe the things that you're not doing in any of those areas, and you're a good person. You have a great idea. You have the ambition. You've got the resilience. You keep showing up every day, but you're not seeing the success. It's not showing up in your revenue. We want to change that narrative, and we want to show you how you can change that narrative. Okay, so give us a call, 404-478-7213. I also have a few offers that we're extending from this past weekend that we want you to take us up on. But again, before we do, let's get into some of the things that you got to get right. What are the things that you got to get right? Well, first of all, you got to get your mindset right. You got to get your mindset right. This is the first thing that you got to get right. You got to get your mindset right. Now, why do you have to get your mindset right? Well, because a lot of times people who are moving into business ownership, I just want to show you how this works. If you're moving over to business ownership, maybe you're currently a 1099. Maybe you're a contractor. Okay, maybe you're a network marketer. So let's just put some abbreviations here. Maybe you're an independent contractor. Maybe you're a network marketer. Maybe you're a real estate agent. Maybe you're some type of contractor, a freelancer, right? Or maybe you are a W-2 employee. And see, the problem is, just because you want to own a business, just because you have dreams and desires to own a business, just because you know the ultimate goal for you and for your legacy and for your family and for your freedom is going to be for you to own a business, the problem is not necessarily the skill set as much as it is a lot of times the mindset. And so when I say getting the right mindset, I'm not just talking about getting the mindset that brings you from thinking negative to thinking positive. I'm not just talking about the mindset that brings you from poverty to prosperity, because there are some spiritual things that have to take place within your mind. There are some psychological changes that have to make in your mind. There are some environmental changes and moral changes that may have to take place and shift in your mind. But there are also economic changes that have to take place in your mind, because your skill set as a business owner is going to be directly dependent upon your mindset as a business owner. And so this is why I say, if you want to get it right as an entrepreneur, the first thing you have to get right is what? Your mindset. So that means you've got to set, that's the suffix, you've got to set your mind here. You've got to set your mind here. So how am I going to set my mind here as a business owner, to think like a business owner, to talk like a business owner, to make daily decisions like a business owner when I'm still a 1099 independent contractor, a network marketer, a real estate agent, a freelancer, or if I'm still a W-2 employee? Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people who own businesses. They have legitimate LLCs over here. I know people who have holding companies. They have organizational enterprises that's made up of 3 or 4 different businesses with divisions and subsidiaries, but they still think mentally like W-2 employees. So in their mind, they think they can work 5 days a week. In their minds, they're only working 40 hours a week. In their minds, they've got to get paid a certain amount in order for their personal life to be satisfied. In their minds, they're not understanding all of the things that make up the success as a business owner, because they still have the mindset of a W-2 employee or a 1099 contractor. So when I say getting the right mindset, I'm not just talking about going from a poverty mentality to a prosperity mentality. I'm not talking about just going from a ghetto mentality to a glorious mentality. I'm not just talking about you going from the bankhead of your world to the buckhead of your world, even though I say that respectfully because I know some good people in bankhead. But my point is, getting the right mindset is not just about thinking like people on the other side of the track. Getting the right mindset is understanding that your mind has to be set of that of a business owner. So that means you've got to understand the type of sacrifices that have to be made. You have to understand that when you give up your W-2 job 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, you're giving it up to work 7 days a week sometimes, and maybe 100 hours a week sometimes. You're giving up the luxury and the security of having consistent checks come in every pay period to being inconsistently paid less than what you are working for. But all of these things are going to help shape your mind, and it's going to determine how you do all of the other things right. So a lot of people jump into business ownership, but they're still thinking like independent contractors. They're still thinking about how they can figure everything out themselves. I know a lot of people who own business owners, and they really think like they're self-employed because they don't want to hire people. They don't want to spend money to learn. They don't want coaches and consultants. They don't want to pay attorneys and CPAs and business consultants to help them. All they want to do is figure it out themselves. And all they do is they lengthen the time of learning when they can shorten the time of learning if they just change their mindset. Okay? So getting the right mindset as an entrepreneur starts with getting things right, getting it right as an entrepreneur starts with getting the right mindset. All right, so I want you to write that down. I'm giving you some good points that you can take today and apply. So again, if you wrote down, I got to get my mindset right, or if you wrote down getting it right, number one, mindset, work on setting your mind to that of a business owner. Don't just set your mind to that of an employee or to that of a 1099 self-employed contractor. You've got to start thinking bigger. You got to start seeing the bigger picture. You got to start looking at your responsibilities and your scope of responsibility being much bigger than it has been prior to you shifting and changing your mindset to that of a business owner. Okay, the second thing you got to get right is your structure. You hear me talk about this a lot. You got to get your structure right. This is the second thing you got to get right. If you start a business, and a lot of you that are watching me today, you know I'm telling the truth. If you started your business, if you started your LLC and you didn't structure it the right way, meaning that, let's say if you got 3 or 4 businesses that you own today, you got 3 or 4 different LLCs. You really probably confused because you don't know what to market first, right? So if you structure your business in a way that you have LLC number 1, you got LLC number 2, you got LLC number 3, and then under each LLC, let's just say you got 3 different products and services. Let's just say you got 3 different products and services. Most likely, because you're sitting at the top of each of these, let me just show you, you're sitting at the top of each of these, you're trying to figure out how can you be the boss of all 3. That's how it looks for most business owners. So you have this LLC that you own, you have this LLC that you own, then you got this LLC that you own, and there's no central focus, is it? There's no central focus because you don't know, should you market LLC number 1, product number 2? Should you market LLC number 2, product number 3? Should you market LLC number 3, product number 1? You don't even know how to market. Then we haven't even talked about other things that are within this ecosystem, like your systems and your processes and the people that you need to deploy to help you. What if you needed somebody to help you? Where are they going to help you? Are they going to help you in LLC number 1? Or they're going to help you in LLC number 3 or number 2. So getting it right as an entrepreneur, number 1 means getting the right mindset, but number 2, it means getting the right structure. Because I don't want you as an entrepreneur to be 3 different people. I want you to be able to stand at the top of the mountain, and at the top of this mountain, you have your one LLC as your holding company, and then you let those other LLCs or those other divisions or those other products and services move and operate under the umbrella of the one, so that they all have a central location to come to, and it simplifies how you operate as a business owner. Because now it doesn't matter if you have 100 LLCs, 300 divisions, 4,000 products and services, if they are all interconnected to this structure that you've built, they all have to end up coming to you in a centralized, comprehensive way, okay? So that's the second thing that you got to get right as an entrepreneur. So of course, the structure has a legal component to it, but your structure also has a conceptual component to it, which means even if you get someone, like we have a department that files the paperwork. If you needed your LLC filed, if you needed your holding company paperwork filed, if you needed us to obtain your EIN and get your articles and get your operating agreement, we have a department that does all of that for you. We can get that done for you in less than 5 days, okay? But here's the thing. I say this to a lot of people that we talk to who call in for us to do their paperwork. I always say to them, if we have our legal department to file your paperwork, and then within the next 5 days you get your articles of organization, you get your holding company paperwork, you get your operating agreement, all you got to go do now is go open up a bank account, you got your EIN and everything. Okay, from a legal perspective, you got that component, right? So you got the legal component done. But what about the conceptual? And here's what I mean when I say conceptual, because this is a big question mark. The conceptual component of your structure is, do you know how to run the day-to-day operations of a holding company? Do you understand how to build this organization out in a way that it can remain efficient? Because remember, we don't want to just get it right the first time. We want to keep it right after the first time. We don't want you to glitch when you start moving into the marketplace, when you start coming up with new products and services. So your structure has to be right. And in order for you to get it right, there's a legal component to it, and then there's a conceptual component to it. In order for you to learn the concept, you got to educate yourself. That's one of the reasons why we have an entire program built around training you on how to start and structure a holding company and divisions and subsidiaries, how to run it. And guess what? Even if you don't start it yourself, we want you to understand what the process looks like. So that's why in our holding company program, we include video tutorials that walk you through each step of the process of starting a holding company and structuring it. We give you access to the paperwork, to the documents, to the forms, because we want you to conceptually understand what it takes to do it and to run it. Even if you don't do it, you still have to run it. You don't want people doing things for you and you really don't know what they did. You don't understand the concept behind it. It just makes it easy. So I don't mind paying professionals to do certain things for me. But when these professionals can help educate me about things, it just makes it easier for me to pay them, because I know that they know I know what they're doing. And that's very, very important. So the second thing for getting it right as an entrepreneur is what? Structure. Number 3, the third thing is your products. You got to get your products right. So think about it. Once you have your mindset, you've set your mind as a business owner. You know without a shadow of a doubt, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. I want to be the number one person. I want to be the person. I want to be the game changer. I want to be the decision maker. Because again, that's a big mindset shift, because you're not going to be a number 2 or number 38. You're going to be a number 1. So all the responsibility falls on you. So I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. They're like, oh my God, I just can't do all these things. Well, you're going to have to do all those things. Even when you are able to pay people to help you do it, they're not going to do it for you when you don't know what you're doing. Most people are not going to work with you and sacrifice their livelihood and their families and their stability for somebody who don't know if they're coming or going. So mindset is number 1, structure is number 2. Number 3 is products. So getting it right as an entrepreneur means that you got to get your products right. You got to get your products right. Now, why are your products important? Because once you get your LLC set up, once you get your business set up, the next thing you need to do is to go to the market. Like so many entrepreneurs, they mess up here. Here's what most entrepreneurs do. Most entrepreneurs come up with an idea. They get an idea, they start a LLC, that means they get the structure, right? But because they don't have the mindset of a business owner, guess what they get stuck at? They get stuck right here. They get stuck at the structure. All they thinking about is domain names, they thinking about logos, they thinking about paperwork. They think about what other things do entrepreneurs think about here at this stage. They're thinking about a loan, a credit card, a line of credit. They're thinking about somebody investing in their business. They're thinking about finding people to help them do certain things. This is all they think about, as opposed to taking your idea, turning your idea into a product. And once your idea is turned into a product, you take your product to the market so that you can start making money. See, I don't have a problem coming up with ideas, packaging those ideas as products and going to the market. You know why? Because if anybody pays me anything, if anybody pays me for anything, guess what? I'm going to do my best to over-deliver. Even if they're disappointed with what they got, I'm going to figure out how can I make it better for you? What other products and services that I can provide for you to make that worth the money you paid? I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they're satisfied, to make sure that whatever they purchase created some impact in whatever they're doing. But guess what? I can't even have that conversation about customer service if I never acquire the customer. I can't acquire the customer if I don't take my ideas and turn them into products. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they get stuck over here. And so 6 months from now, I'm talking to entrepreneurs. A year from now, I'm talking to them. Well, I'm in the process of doing this. Well, I'm still working on that. And I'm tweaking this. And I'm 3 months away. And I'm like, you're losing and you're failing as a business owner. Number 1, because you got the wrong mindset. Number 2, if you have the right structure, if you did that part right, the next thing is your products. You've got to start developing your products so that you can start taking products to the market. So let's look at some of the products that you need to be taking into consideration. All right, what are some of the products? Well, you have physical products. Okay, you may have virtual products. You may have intellectual products. You got to look at how many products can you come up with. And when I say products, I'm also talking about services, because your services can actually be products. So it's not just products in terms of physical products. It could be services that are physical. It could be products and services that are virtual. It could be products and services that are intellectual. So once you, let me erase this so I can make it easier for you. Once you get to the product part, which is services, We want to look at the physical. We want to look at the virtual. We want to look at the intellectual. We just went through this exercise Saturday in our workshop where one of our attendees had a product, and the product was a $15 product, right? It was a $15 product. It was a book. We talked about her book, and we showed her how she can take this one $15 product, but she's got to add certain intellectual or virtual products and services to this one product in order to, number one, increase the value of her business so that her business is not just dependent upon a $15 product. But in order for her business not to be dependent upon a $15 product, she's got to take other services, virtual, intellectual. Maybe she can consult groups of people who she wants access to this book. Maybe she can coach people who will be the recipients of this book. And so now all of a sudden her approach is not just a $15 book approach, but her approach is an entire business approach, because she has the mindset and the structure as a business owner to understand when she goes into the market, she's not just going into the market as an author of a $15 book. She's going into the market as an expert who has the ability to write information and to create training modules and to provide consulting and coaching in a area that she happens to write a book in. So that in addition to all of her other services, she can use this as a manual or a resource guide for all the other things that she's doing. And so once you figure out the products and the services, you got to think about your pricing, your packaging. You got to think about your production of it and your presentation of it. And I'm telling you, most entrepreneurs, they never even get to this point. Most entrepreneurs never get to this point. As I said, most entrepreneurs, they'll start a business, they'll get their LLC, and then they'll just start this whole list of stuff that they need to do over here, none of which is making them any money. None of this is making them any money, because they should take those ideas and start converting those ideas into products and services. And once they start converting them into products and services and those ideas start making sense, they got to put a price to them. So I know a lot of entrepreneurs I work with, business owners I work with, they're coaches, they're consultants, they're motivational speakers, they're authors, they're trainers, they are experts or service providers in certain fields, and they don't really know their pricing. They don't even know how to properly price their products. So guess what? They never really go out with confidence into the market. And if you can't price your products, most likely you're not going to package them the right way. And if you don't package them, you're not going to start producing them, or at least figuring out what is the best way to produce them to scale. And if you don't know how to produce it, you're not going to present it. You're never going to take it into the market. So most entrepreneurs never even check the product box, because this is, to me, the third thing you got to get right. And here's what I want you to understand very quickly before I give you the last two. If for some reason what I'm saying to you is resonating with you and you're like, listen, Ramon, Mr. Preston, whatever you call me, I am there. I have great ideas, but I do not know how to turn these ideas into physical, virtual, intellectual, or all of the above in terms of products and services. Maybe you're at a point to where you don't know how to price your products. You know you're good at certain things, but you're just not sure how do you price it. Or you may be good at doing the thing, but if you had to consult people in doing it, you don't really know what your prices should be. Well, guess what? This is something that I work with all of my clients on when they join our coaching and consulting program. So whether you are joining our Millionaire Mentorship program, if you are part of our certification program as a coach and a consultant, we actually have a training program for coaches and consultants. We have a business incubator where we provide the mentorship, the certification training, and we work with you to build your systems out. We help you build your operation systems, your sales systems, your marketing systems, your financial systems. We literally sit down at the table with you and help you do it. We're not just showing you how to do it. We're working with you to do it in our incubator program. So if you have any issues with these things and you're just not sure how to get past it, please reach out to me before today ends so that we can give you an opportunity to join one of our programs that may perfectly fit your criteria. So getting it right as an entrepreneur, number one, begins with mindset. Number two, begins with structure. Number three, products. And so what is number four? I'm gonna give you all five and then we'll let you go for the day. Number four is systems and processes. You have to get these right. Trust me, I went years as an entrepreneur trying to run a business without the right systems and processes. So when I say systems and processes, I'm almost always talking about the four main systems and processes every entrepreneur needs in their business. I'm talking about almost always, when you hear me say it, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sales. I'm talking about marketing. I'm talking about financial. And I'm talking about operational. Like I can guarantee, even if your products and services were not like extremely good, because remember, there are a lot of people who sell products and services in your space, in your industry, whatever it is that you're doing as a business owner, there are other people who are doing it. You have a lot of competitors. Have you ever watched certain people on social media, or have you ever seen commercials or seen people promoting, or selling certain things, and you know it's not as good as yours, and you think to yourself, man, I should be making that kind of money. They don't even have a good product. I say it all the time as a coach and a consultant. I have people that tell me that all the time. We just had a session, an initial coaching session with someone who joined our mentorship program this past Saturday after our one-day event. And the gentleman, after his initial session, one of the things he told me was, you don't charge enough. He basically said, this is cheap, man. Like, for me to be able to get all this from you, and this is like the first day. He's like, man, I'm just learning so much. He's on our online training. He came in for his initial session. We spent 2 hours together fleshing through what he wants to do. It was like an eye-opener for him, a game changer for him. But guess what? I understand that even if I have the best product or the best service, even if you have the best product or the best service, what hinders your products, what downplays your structure, what suffocates your mindset is your systems and processes, or the lack thereof, So you can have the right mindset. You see how that works? You can have the right mindset. You think big, you know what you want. You can have the right structure. You got your holding company, you got your LLC, you got all your paperwork, you got your corporate packet, you got your EIN, you got your bank account, you got everything. And then you got products. You know what you want to sell. You know what you want to provide. You know how you're going to provide it. But guess what? If you don't have the right systems and processes, I am a guinea pig for this. I know. I went years without having the right systems and processes. So let me help you understand what I mean, because we train our people on all these. We show our clients how to integrate them into their businesses. And again, we've got an incubator program that we literally work with you to build your CRM, to build your marketing system and process, to build your QuickBooks out, to configure it the right way, and to help you with your operational system. So you need this. If you don't have this in your business, I already know you're probably struggling with generating enough revenue. Because I did. The moment I figured these things out, my revenue automatically went up. You know why? Because I have systems and processes that I can now track all of my activity. I can track my financial activity. I can track my marketing activity. I can track my sales activity. I can track my operational activity. And if I am tracking all this activity because I have processes and systems that house those processes, it's easier for me to look at the activity in these areas and see what's working, what's not working. When I see something that's working, I can lean in to make it work a little more. You see how that works? That's how it works. So again, now, when you say systems and processes for sales, what are we talking about? We're talking about a CRM. You need some type of system that can house your information for your leads, for your prospects, for potential customers and clients, for people that become customers and clients. All that data, all that information, all your activity with that information needs to be housed somewhere. And you need to be able to build that house out to get down to like really the details, the microscopic nitty-gritty of each and everything you're doing with every person you come into contact with. You need a marketing system to do the same. So your marketing system is not just your analytics for Google and for Facebook and for LinkedIn and for Instagram. That plays a role, or TikTok and everything else, Twitter. But it's also you having an in-house system and process to know what's actually working. Are your emails working better than your text messages? Are your text messages working better than your emails? Are your phone calls working better than your emails and text messages? Is one platform responding better than another platform? Is one community you're building better than another community you're building? How are people thinking when they're here as opposed to when they're there? So you need systems and processes for that. Your financials, you definitely got to have financial systems and processes, because you got to know what is the process between me getting an idea, turning the idea into a product, taking it to the market, selling it, and processing the payment, and retaining that person as a customer and client. What is that whole process? Well, that's a part of your financials. You got to be able to financially understand what you did, right? You got to financially understand what you're doing. I call it historical tracing. You got to be able to trace the past. You got to be able to track the present, and then you got to be able to forecast the future. All of that is a part of your financial. But then what about your operational? Your operational really encompasses every role within your company. Like you as the CEO, somebody that will assume a personal assistant role, somebody that will assume a marketer's role, a financial bookkeeper role, sales role. All these different roles in your company need to be built out and make sense so that you can understand it, because you're probably doing it yourself if you're a solopreneur, but it even makes it easier for other people to do it. And so again, this is a lot of work. It could be a little complex, but not as complex when you have people on your team working with you. So again, we have online training programs that you can learn at your own pace these things. We have mentorship programs for coaching and consulting that we can help give you direction and coach you along the way with these things. And we also have consulting programs that we don't just help you on the sideline as a coach, we actually get in the game with you and become a part of your team. So on whatever level that you need this support and assistance, just know we have created programs. We've created solutions to make these things easy, to simplify it, so that you can become more efficient as an entrepreneur. So number 4 is systems and processes. All right. Just in case you forgot, we're still talking about getting it right as an entrepreneur. Because if you're like a lot of people I talk to, you're always saying, man, I just want to do it right. I want to get it right. I want to be successful. I want to blow up. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be financially free. Well, guess what it's going to require? It's going to require the right mindset. It's going to require the right structure. It's going to require the right products and services. It's going to require the right systems and processes. And number five is going to require the right people. It's going to require the right people. And a lot of times you don't even know who the right people are until you check all these off. See, I've been through that. I've hired people, fired people. I've had people to quit and give up on me. I've experienced it all. So it ain't in church and in business. In church and in business. I think at the height of my church when I was pastoring for those 12 and a half years, oh my God, I may have had close to maybe 40, if not 50 volunteers, people who were committed to help serve in our church. I may have had 40 to 50 volunteers. We probably had at least 20 to 25 ministers, easily 40 to 50 volunteers based on all the teams that we had, whether it was departments within our church, whether it was outreach ministries, in-reach ministries. We had so many different programs and projects and initiatives going on in our church at one time. We may have had 50 volunteers, okay? In my business, the most employees we've had at one time was, let's see, me, my wife, my personal assistant. We had me, my wife, my personal assistant. We had my son, the cameraman. We had a CMO. We had a marketing. So we may have had 5 at one time, full time. 5 people full time. So we're now at 3. We're at 3. We're getting ready to hire a new person. We got a new person coming on June 1st. We have an executive administrator that's going to be coming in, and she's already been working with us for years anyway on a volunteer internship basis. So she's coming on full time as a salary employee, and hopefully we'll be back up to 5 by June, no later than July, if not before June, because I'm working on finding that person now. So my point is, you need the right people. You need the right people. And I have learned over the years in ministry, and I've learned over the years in business, that when your mindset is correct or right, when your structure is right, when your products and services are right, when your systems and processes are right, it helps you to better find the right people. Because when these things are not right, for some reason, you always attract the wrong people because you're not really right in these other things. So when I talk to an entrepreneur tells me, oh, I'm getting ready to hire somebody, or I'm looking for somebody to help me, I want to go through the list. What kind of mindset do you got? What kind of structure you got? What are your products and services? What are your prices? What are your KPIs? We want to look at your systems and processes. Do you have them in place? Because if you don't, okay, who are you going to bring in? What kind of person are you going to bring in? Because if this stuff ain't together, you're not going to bring in quality people. See, I had to learn that. So there are many times in my life that I've had people who were not quality people doing things for me because I didn't have some of these boxes checked. Even when I did get them checked, I still had to deal with people who didn't have a lot of quality. But instead of me just pointing my fingers at them, I want to point them at myself. What's wrong with me? What is it about me that I keep attracting the wrong people? So let's look at people. What do you mean by people? We're talking about staff, and we're talking about support. So this could be inside and outside. I promise you something. And it's only going to be when you experience it that you understand how important this statement is. I promise you, having outside support, meaning that if you're in ministry, I'm going to give you both sides. Having outside support in ministry means that you have a pastor. If you are a pastor or a leader, that may mean you have an apostle or a covering. You have a spiritual father and mother. You have people who hold you accountable, people that can be advisors to you, spiritual anchors in your life. They play a coach role, a consultant role, especially for ministry. In business, having outside support means that you need a coach. Like there shouldn't, like I've learned this. And I didn't get this immediately when I first started my business. And the reason why, well, most of the reason why is because I really didn't understand it. You know, when my wife and I got married 18 years ago and we decided we was going to be a two-person team, we was going to be full-time entrepreneurs, a lot of this stuff we didn't know. I had to learn this stuff. I had to self-educate. I had to go through a whole lot to get to where I am right now. So I be huffing and puffing and talking like I'm big and bad right now, but you have no idea how I looked 18 years ago knowing none of this. But I had the ambition, I had the resilience, I actually had the mindset. I did have the mindset because I knew I wanted to be rich, I knew I wanted to be wealthy, I knew I wanted to be great. I just didn't know how I was going to get all that done. And I didn't get it right the first time. I always tell people, Ramon Preston Enterprises, as you know it, is the fourth LLC that I started. So I started 3 other LLCs that are no longer in existence, that have since then dissolved just to get me to where Ramon Preston Enterprises is. This is my 4th LLC, okay? This is my 4th LLC. And this is my holding company. We started Ramon Preston Enterprises in 2018. That was 4 years ago when we started it. I mean, everything I'm telling you can Google. You can go to the Georgia Secretary of State and find this stuff out. It's not like I can lie and you go fact check me. You go to the Georgia Secretary of State and pull up my name. You're going to see Ramon Preston Enterprises LLC was formed in 2018. That's when we dissolved our other 2 entities at the time, but we had another one that we started in 2006. I mean, all this is public records. You could go look in 2006, I started Preston Real Estate Enterprises. 2014, I started Preston Properties, Real Estate and Investments. And then 2015, I started RP Enterprises. And then in 2018, we dissolved all of that. All those 3 businesses were concepts that we still have in this new business, or their divisions somewhere or subsidiaries. But I'm just showing you that I didn't get it right the first time. I had to put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, money, mistakes, relationships, years of being free to do other things. I had to put all that on the line just to get to this point, but I want to make it easier for you. So I'm saying to you, people are the 5th thing on this list that you got to get right as an entrepreneur. And people meaning you need outside support. You need a coach. You need a consultant. You need people helping you. Like I'm telling you, if I think the people that I'm drawing to my business to hire and to work with me, people that I'm interning, we're always interning people, we're always mentoring people, I'm always scouting, I'm always recruiting. But I can tell the type of people that are starting to get interested in what we're doing to at some point work with us and for us. It is a result of the fact that I've got real good outside support. I've got coaches, I've got consultants, I've got people who cover me, hold me accountable, and it just makes my life easier personally because I have the confidence, I have the reinforcement to know that I can go hard inside because I got people helping me outside. So that's the show for today. I want to give you an opportunity to be a part of our programs. We have a lot of different programs. We have our signature program called the Millionaire Blueprint. It is an online business and financial wealth building system. So if you're looking for a personal financial plan, a personal financial educational program to help you in your personal finances, to help you in your professional life, to help you in your ministry and in your business. The Millionaire Blueprint is just that. We have training courses and a lot of videos for education on financial literacy, entrepreneurship, holding companies, real estate investing, family legacy wealth building. We have nonprofit courses, documents and forms. We have hundreds and hundreds of training modules on this Millionaire Blueprint. It is probably one of the most comprehensive business and financial wealth building systems, online virtual training programs you're gonna see today. And guess what? If it's not, I want you to call me out on it. I want you to fact check me on it. But trust me, when you start going through our program, our online program, you're gonna see that, wow, this is a major, major move. So it's called the Millionaire Blueprint. And it is a on-demand, online business and financial educational program. Now, it typically retails for $5,000. We have been offering it for $1,500, and guess what? And we have payment plan options for you if you are not able to pay the $1,500, because we want to get you started, we want to get you on the program, and we want to give you an opportunity to start learning, to start training, to start developing. So you can get a 12-month payment plan for $125. Literally, you can start training today for $125. So if you want to take me up on a $5,000 program that you don't even have to pay $1,500 for, you could pay $125 for, I want you to text the word millionaire. Text this word millionaire to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. And guess what? Even while you're preparing to text that number or after you text it, I want you to go to RamonPreston.com. I want you to go to my main website, and I want you to take a look at everything we provide in that program. I really want you to do that, okay? I'm getting ready to pull it up for you right here. I want to show you. If you go to RamonPreston.com, you will be able to see literally for yourself all of the training programs that we provide. This is RamonPreston.com. I'm going to our main website now. Of course, what I'm showing you on the screen is a mobile version. So if you're on a laptop or a desktop, it's going to look a little different. But when you go to RamonPreston.com, you can look at the menu and you'll see training. We have a coaching program. You can see what that is. A consulting program. We have a licensing program, certification program for churches, certification program for coaches and consultants. We even have a millionaire groups for churches that want to incorporate business and financial literacy and entrepreneurship training in their churches. But anyway, if you click on the training, all you have to do is click on the training. If you click on the training, it's going to take you to our Millionaire Blueprint right here. And you will see all of the programs that we have. I mean, literally, there are hundreds of training programs, documents, forms for how to start and structure holding companies, how to build your divisions and subsidiaries out, financial literacy, creative tax strategies, real estate investing, goal setting, scheduling. We have masterminds and workshops and boot camps that we have hosted, that we have placed on here with all the documents, all the forms. We have a sales program with sales scripts to show you how to create a sales system and a sales cycle for your company. We have marketing courses. And all you have to do is just start going through all of the programs that we have. You can view all of the courses. It's a when I tell you it's a very comprehensive program, most of the people that we have on our program, they always tell me when I talk with them that this program should be $15,000. and you're discounting it from $5,000 to $1,500 with a monthly payment plan to make it easier. Hey, this is a way that I show you I can bet on myself, because there ain't no way in this world you're going to get access to this for $125 a month for 12 months and go on there every day or at least regularly and don't change. You're going to change. You're going to learn something. Your income is going to go up. Your business is going to get better. Your mindset is going to change, because everything that I've done to become a millionaire and to create a multi-million-dollar, at some point a billion-dollar organizational enterprise, I'm giving you the game. And every time I come up with new information, every time I find new things out, guess what I do? I packaged it and put it on here first so that our community has access to it too. All of these different programs here, you can literally just click on any one of them. Like, let's say, for example, this is our how to start and structure a holding company. If you clicked on that program, it's going to open up all the modules to show you exactly what you're going to be learning in this. You can open it up and see all the videos. You can see what the titles of all the videos are, what you're going to be learning. When I tell you it's comprehensive, it's comprehensive. So all you have to do is text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. Now, if for some reason you need coaching and consulting because you need me and my team to work with you personally, maybe online virtual training is not enough for you. It doesn't mean the program is wrong. It just means having a coach and a consultant is best for you. We can always talk to you about that. But if you text the word millionaire to this number, we'll take a few minutes. We'll assess what your business, what your personal financial situation is in terms of what you want to accomplish. We'll talk with you a little bit about what your goals are, what you are looking to accomplish, and we will share with you information on all of our programs so that you can make the best decision to have the right things, to do it right so that you can succeed, okay? So I look forward to hearing from you. I appreciate all of you for being patient with us. This has been a very, very busy week. We've had a lot going on, so please forgive me if we've been a little tardy, meaning that we haven't started right at 12 o'clock noon, but we're always here. We have over 1,400 videos on our YouTube page. We have videos all across platforms on social media. So there's no shortage of getting information from me. I share information with you, and to think that after over 1,400 videos on YouTube, all of these videos on here, almost all of them, are videos that are not even exposed to the general public. There may be a few live sessions we have on those programs that you will see on social media, but it may have just been certain live sessions that we knew were valuable enough to put it on that. But guess what? For the most part, over 99% of the content on our online training platform, over 99% of the content that we share with you as coaches and consultants, you're not going to see that on social media. So if you enjoy what you get on the show, if you enjoy what you watch when you type my name in or when I pop up on your news feed, trust me, you're going to fall in love with all the things that we do in our training program and in our coaching and consulting program. Let's see, I think we may have a question. Let me pull up and see if we have any questions. Okay, what's up, Mass? YT, how you doing? How are you? I hope my sound is good, y'all. Somebody said my sound was going in and out. Hope my sound is good. Okay, let's see here. You said you're going to start a holding company. Great. Congratulations to you for starting a holding company. So I can scale the business bigger and buy a new car also, a business car. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a very, very wise decision to make. Listen, anytime, I'll say this, I'll just comment on what Mr. Mass just put on there, but anytime you can build your business in a way that your business can afford to finance the things that you're going to be using anyway, whether it's transportation, whether it's housing, whether it's equipment or whatever, it's always advantageous for you to focus on building your business to be able to do those things. Wealthy people, they run a lot of the things that they enjoy in their lives through their business. Another way of saying it is, wealthy people build their lifestyles through their business. And so as their businesses grow, their lifestyles grow. The quality of their life increases. And that should be the way to do it, because you're never neglecting your business just to have a personal quality of life. You're always feeding your business, and when your business is in a position to give you the benefits of its success, you're able to see or to develop creative ways to build that particular thing into your business. So I appreciate all of you. I look forward to speaking with any of you that are interested in joining our programs. Again, you can just text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213, and feel free to go to RamonPreston.com. RamonPreston.com. All of the programs we have available, all of the prices we have available, we have it on that website. But again, we would prefer you to reach out to us, because we're able to extend special offers to you in person that we're not able to extend online. So most of the programs that you see online, you have to pay the full amount one time in order to get access to any of that information. But some of those programs, we offer payment plan options, but you have to reach out to us, and we want to make sure that you're purchasing the right program. I always encourage people in our community, reach out to us first before you purchase any program or product or service on our platform, because there may be something we have in-house that you don't see on the platform that we want to provide for you, and we're able to ask a few questions to assess what you're doing so that we can see to it that you're directed towards the right product, the right service that's going to get you the right results. So thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you. If you enjoyed today's show, please, pretty please, with sugar on top, do me a favor, leave feedback in the comments. Would you please do that? Every time you make a comment in these videos, I know sometimes people want to remain anonymous, but understand something. The more you help people like me, you're helping yourself. Because if you were on a show, if you were sharing information on social media, you would want the results of people responding and commenting and sharing your information, because the way social media works, if people are watching your videos, that's good. But when people are engaging, they're responding, they're commenting, they're liking, they're sharing, it elevates what you do. It gives your activity more awareness. And so I appreciate it. That's one way of saying thank you to me. I know you appreciate me sharing a lot of this valuable information for free every day, but that's one way of saying thank you, by sharing it on your pages. Maybe there are some people that you know that need this, even if you're not at a place where you need it, or you may feel like it's not for you. But if you know people who are struggling financially, they need financial literacy, they need some education, they need coaching, they need people to help them because they got something good going, they just need a little extra lift, share our information with them. We would love to be able to help them. We want our people to succeed. We want to create more blueprint millionaires, and I believe we have what it takes to do that. So your support, your participation, your engagement, your comments, your questions, your likes, your shares, all of it means everything. So I love all of you. We'll be back here tomorrow, Friday, for another show, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. Don't meet me here, beat me here. Until then, have an amazing day, okay? Uh-oh, we got another question? I'm sorry. See there, almost dropped off, and we got another question. M's Room, the question on YouTube, M's Room, how you doing? I have an LLC. Can I create subsidiaries under my LLC? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. You can definitely add. You want to do that. That's the way you want to do it. That's the holding company concept. If you're not familiar with that, I want you to go to RamonPreston.com or reach out to me. We have a holding company course and startup kit, okay? I want you to take advantage of that startup kit. Even if you don't get the whole program, we have a startup kit just for holding companies. Just that course alone is going to help you understand those things. So I'm getting ready to pull it up real quick because I want you to see it. So if you go to RamonPreston.com, you click on training, it's going to take you to our online platform, Ramon Preston University. Under business programs, I really want you to get this. Under business programs, you will see that one of our programs, let's see here. One of our programs is called the Holding Company course, the Holding Company LLC course and startup kit. It's $497. I mean, even though wow, it just kicked me out. But even though our full program is $1,500, the holding company course is $497. And literally, for $500, there's nowhere, I just don't think there's nowhere on this planet you're going to pay $500 and get that much information about a holding company. You get an operating agreement, you get walkthrough tutorials, I answer about 40 questions alone just on different things about holding companies, licensing, real estate, hiring family members, reallocating pre-tax dollars. It's just nowhere you're going to get that information. I haven't seen it because remember, I study my competition and I haven't found anybody that's given that much information out for that price. So my point is, go there and let me say this, you can create or add an LLC or a subsidiary. So you have LLC number 1, right? So you want to add subsidiary. You want to add subsidiary. Now here's the thing. When you go get your EIN, number for the subsidiary, you want to make sure that you're using the proper wording when you're obtaining the EIN for the subsidiary. When you go to the Secretary of State to get your articles, you want to make sure that you're using the right terminology for the subsidiary so that it will be clear that LLC number 1 owns LLC number 2. A lot of times people go get their EIN number and their articles for a subsidiary and they do not make LLC number 1 the owner. They are the owner. And if you don't do it right, most state portals, they're going to kick you out and they're not going to accept it if it's not done right. So again, we have a course to show you the right way to do it. And in our programs, we work with our clients to make sure that they're done right. Or we have a department that files the paperwork for you. All of that is on RamonPreston.com. So it's all up to you, but we've got the resources for you because we know this concept that we're teaching about the holding company, about divisions, about subsidiaries, and how we are explaining structures and systems and processes to entrepreneurs. This is going to be the way you become a millionaire and get wealthy and preserve that wealth in a very sophisticated way. So I look forward to helping you, serving you. If you do have any questions because you're kind of lost on our platform, all you have to do is just reach out to me. 404-478-7213. I'll be more than happy to talk with you and to help you understand it. Mask says housing is the next step, but where I live, a down payment is like $75,000, so that's a bigger step. Well, there are some creative ways. There are some creative ways that you can get around that down payment. There are some creative ways. I don't know, Mask, if you're on our online program, but we have an entire real estate investing training program on the Millionaire Blueprint, and we teach you creative ways to acquire real estate. There are creative ways you can acquire real estate without putting $75,000 down in this market. People are doing it every day. So I love all of you, appreciate all of you. Look forward to speaking with you soon. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here on the Ramon Preston Show.